A local veteran with cancer, unable to get the treatment he needs, reaches out to our On Your Side investigators for help. It turns out a $10 billion federal plan called Veterans Choice is at the heart of the problem. It was created to squash those long wait times for vets to see a doctor. But the man you're about to meet says it doesn't work. Rachel DePapa explains.
They love treat. They're spoiled.
You might say Brian Kearns
That's my baby.
never
That's good boy. Loves his head scrubbed.
wastes a moment.
Yes, he does. I make the most of every single day that the Lord gives me.
When he's not zipping around at his 35-acre ranch in Cumberland County, Virginia, tending to his animals.
I got the eggs this morning and they haven't laid one yet.
He's diving with sharks, fishing, hunting.
And they built this lift for me after I started losing feeling in my arms and my neck.
Loving life, all without the use of his legs.
This is not an easy thing to do 4 or 5 times a day.
Though you'd never know it, Brian Kearns is a paraplegic.
I've come to get accustomed to the fact that I've been in a chair for 34 years and I'm going to need these things.
He suffered the injury in 1982 in a training accident at Fort A.P. Hill while serving in the Army. Kearns knows patients better than most. He's even a little understanding about the VA hospital's long waits.
I kind of understand it because we've been at war and there's a lot of young kids coming back.
He had skin cancer removed last October at McGuire VA, but it came back, growing in size.
It's got bumps on it that ooze at nighttime.
He called in March and was told he couldn't get an appointment to see a dermatologist at McGuire until April of 2017. Nearly a year later, this isn't even for the surgery, just for a doctor to look at the cancer. Since the wait was so long, he was referred to Veterans Choice.
This bill will help them get the care they need someplace else.
Congress passed and the president signed the Veterans Access, Choice, and Accountability Act 2 years ago. Veterans Choice promised that vets forced to wait more than 30 days for an appointment or to travel more than 40 miles to a VA hospital could get care closer to home through non-VA doctors.
When you think Veterans Choice, what do you think?
Well, to me, it's a figment of the Veterans Administration imagination. They think that they've created a program that will help. They didn't. They created a program that is worse.
You see, we visited Brian in September. Veterans Choice still had not called him about his cancer 7 months later. He's waited and called over and over.
They tell you the Veterans Choice is going to call you, then they don't. You talk to someone, they say, we're going to get you squared away, we'll call you tomorrow. Nobody calls, you call them again, you talk to somebody different. You have to start all over again.
While he was waiting, another driver rear-ended his truck. Brian was injured. He tore his rotator cuff muscles and bicep, his lifeline to getting around.
When you're paraplegic and your legs don't work, if you don't have 2 arms, you're not doing much.
That happened in March. Once again, McGuire VA couldn't get him in for surgery until November. They sent him to Veterans Choice, who sent him to 2 different doctors who couldn't treat his shoulder.
When I got there, he said, you need a specialist. I said, why? He said, all I do is hips, knees, and ankles.
And they sent you for a shoulder.
They sent me for my shoulder.
Brian is not alone. We found examples across the country. Frustrated veterans forced to wait even longer for appointments. Senator Chuck Grassley got so fed up he wrote the VA. The VA's undersecretary wrote back saying, "We take your concerns seriously and remain committed to ironing out the issues that have resulted in significant delays."
Brian says once McGuire found out he talked to Channel 12, the VA moved up his shoulder surgery. It was supposed to happen today, but he just found out it was mistakenly canceled because McGuire was told he'd already had a surgery through Veterans Choice. Another example of the miscommunication with this program. Brian has now been waiting more than 8 months. For the On Your Side investigators, Rachel DePampa, NBC 12 News.
We have an incredible follow-up now to a story that we first brought you yesterday. The Cumberland County veteran who's been waiting for surgery on a shoulder for more than 8 months is finally getting some help. On Your Side investigator Rachel DePampa helped make this happen. She has an update now.
We introduced you to Brian Kearns last night, an incredible Army vet who lost the use of his legs in a training accident in 1982.
They love treats. They're spoiled.
You might say Brian Kearns
Where's my baby?
never
There's good boy. She loves his head scrubbed.
wastes a moment.
Yes, he does. I make the most of every single day that the Lord gives me.
Unfortunately, he's been waiting for his appointment for shoulder surgery at the McGuire VA since March. He also had skin cancer surgery, but he believed the cancer came back and couldn't get an appointment to see a dermatologist until April of 2017. Since the wait was so long for both appointments, the VA sent him to Veterans Choice, a 2-year-old $10 billion federal program meant to get vets help quicker. Veterans Choice promised that vets forced to wait more than 30 days for an appointment or to travel more than 40 miles to a VA hospital could get care closer to home through non-VA doctors. But as Brian told us,
Well, to me, it's a figment of the Veterans Administration imagination. They think that they've created a program that will help. They didn't. They created a program that is worse.
After our story aired last night, he got a call from McGuire this morning, and he's having his surgery on his shoulder Monday morning. He also got a call from Veterans Choice about his skin cancer. We are so thankful we could help Brian, and we will continue to follow his story and bring you an update in the next few weeks after his surgery.